8:30, early February, and we are going to do a bee extraction on a house in Selma, Alabama. It's a cold time of year to do this, but he wanted them out, so we're going to give it a try. It's 38 degrees right now. I hope it warms up to at least 50. But we wanted to take you along on this bee extraction and kind of show you how we do it. I think a lot of people might be interested now. We haven't done one in a long time, so we'll have to kind of put things back together, pick up a few things that we didn't have. What else was I going to say? Oh, we're going down into Selma, and it's an old plantation type place. There's a lot of old pretty plantations. We're going to try to sneak around and see what we can see. We're not going to sneak in anywhere, but we're going to ride around and see what we can see. So,
yeah, you got to come down and cut wood here.
I came down with the sawmill and did a pretty large cedar job down here for about a week. But she didn't get to come that time, so it's just me and her this time. So we're going to run around.
So we have arrived, and this is our bees. Well, their little entrance to their hive that we're going to be getting them out of this wall. We've gone ahead and tucked all our shirts in and are about to put our bee suits on, and we've listened to the wall with a stethoscope to try to figure out where they're at.
50-ish degrees. We're still in the shade, but the sun's coming around, so I hope that it won't be too cool for the brood. We'll see if we can save them. So that's what we're going to do. So this is a hive we're going to put our cutouts in. I just want to seal it up. You don't want bees coming in and out a lot. We're going to put our cutouts in here and just cover it, even if there's bees on it or not, especially if there's brood, because we want it to stay warm and we just don't want them coming in and out.
Right.
We can start a robbing problem, even though there's only one hive. Well, there's another hive up there, but we could start a robbing problem. So
Okay.
that's kind of how we're set up here. And then we've got our bee vac over here that we're about to set up, and we'll use that to pull bees off the frame, off the comb, in order to be able to manipulate them a little better.
Alright, so Jesse started opening them up, and there they are. They are not very happy. So he's getting the smoker just in case, but they come up here.
They packed this in right here with propolis, so more than likely they're pretty good up here. So I'm gonna start about we'll pop this off, and I'm gonna start about right here and work my way up.
Okay.
Hello, ladies. Oh, I see honeycomb. I see honeycomb right out of the gate. I hate to get on that ladder. I'm gonna have that entrance right at my waistline. So I'll pop this one out and then work my way up. I'm way down.
Right.
Try to get them open.
There they are.
They're in there behind that tar paper. That might help us. Ooh, look at that honeycomb. They built up the side of that wall in there.
There we go. You just barely see through the screen of this Vivo.
It looks good.
Okay.
It should autofocus all the time.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I just can't really tell because it makes it look blurry through my Vivo.
I miss playing with bees.
Me too.
I haven't got to do this in probably over a year now since our supply is burnt.
Right.
Ooh. Mmm.
They're not too happy about us.
No. And it looks bigger than I
Imagined.
Well, I didn't know.
Got a lot of honey in there.
Never know.
Do you know what I forgot to do?
What'd you forget?
Rubber band my pant legs down.
Probably a good idea for me also.
I think I may do that here in just a minute. Just to keep my pant legs, because that is not real pleasant. That happened last time.
They've got a corner brace right here. You see that ankle brace in the corner? We pulled one out of the farmhouse in Jasper, up at your grandfather's place, and this is exactly what they did. They used to build these corners with diagonal bracing, and they built all the way up into that corner. So
maybe they haven't passed that.
kind of limits what we see, and the comb is running this way, not this way.
Right.
So it's going to be kind of difficult to pull out, but
See if I can film that
it
so
could
they
be
can
worth
see.
it. Yeah, get in there and look at it good. You can get in close if you want to, if that lens will allow.
Try to see exactly what's going on here. So y'all can see what we see.
Honey's up high.
Yep.
The brood comes about right there, so there should be some under it. And, that's probably a decent scenario.
Very clean, you know.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're doing now is
Working my way up this comb. A lot of this comb is older and dry and brittle, has nothing in it, so I'm just going to work that out with a wax bucket.
this is our wax bucket.
Try to get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Until I get up to some comb that's got something in it that has a drop of honey in it on the back side. You see that old aluminum wire? That wire right there? That wire had that aluminum paper coating on it. And they ate that off. It's another reason why bees are dangerous in the whole house. One thing too, whenever you're taking feral bees home, you want to be careful of is, you know, bees can have several different diseases, especially nowadays. It's gotten a lot worse. So when you go through a hive like this, you need to be aware and smell, you know, if there's sour brood, inspect the brood. There's some right here that I just opened up. And you can look over and make sure they don't have mites. See if they look healthy. And that right there will tell you a lot about them, because you don't want to introduce a hive with a disease. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
I am sucking the very last of the bees into the bee vac.
Think you got them all?
Well, what you see slides about it.
Yeah, it looks pretty empty. That's
So
probably
I figure up in there where this one reads.
that's probably as good as I think we've ever got one cleaned out. We had some camera issues, but we're just now finishing up. I want to show y'all what we ended up with. This whole back side of this wind brace in this corner that Alice is scraping out was full with honey, no brood, because it's that time of year. They was kind of worked out of that, so we're probably going to take them to a guy. He's going to use them in his hives. Anyway, Alice is scraping out the comb. I like to do that, kind of leave it neat and clean, and just sucking out what's left of what's kind of clumped up. So I meant to kind of show y'all our setup, and I didn't really get to it. This is our bee vac. I'll try to locate the link. The man I bought this from builds a really nice unit, and it works great. I really, really like it. The only thing I would change with mine is the intake hose is ribbed, and it should be smooth. It causes some clogs sometimes when things get sticky, but it does a good job. We normally bring another hive to do cutouts. We didn't do any cutouts this time because there wasn't any brood or anything like that, so we use rubber bands on our frames and set them in. I'm sure y'all are pretty familiar with that. And then we take the bees out of here that we vacuumed, set the cutout hive on top, and we have a spacer with a sleeve. Let's see if I can show you here. We've got a spacer with a sleeve, and we can set that hive on top. When we get it home, we just open this up, and the bees can't get out the sleeve, but they'll just migrate up into that box. And then I can pull it off, set it on the bottom board, and we're good to go. So we also keep a bucket for old wax. That's a bucket full of old wax. Let me show you here. See, bucket full of old wax. Got a few flyers in there. And then right up the hill there is my bucket full of honey. I think we're going to strain a little bit of it out. But we're just kind of gathering up and putting things back together, getting closed up. And Alice is finishing up full. Is Isn't she a beautiful beekeeper?